In this video, we're going to find the exact value of the cosine inverse of 1 over 2 in terms of pi. And so really what that just means is when we're doing a trig inverse of something, we're looking for an angle as the answer. So being in terms of pi means we want the radian measure of the angle. Also, something to keep in mind is we want the exact value, and so that means we really can't use a calculator unless you just get lucky. Some of these you could plug in the calculator and get the exact answer, but for the most part, it's going to be something that's going to give a decimal approximation that it won't work for. But the good news is these are really easy to do using the unit circle. So keep in mind that on the unit circle, when we're looking for the cosine of theta, what we're looking for is we go to theta, and then we just pick the x value associated with whatever that angle is. So it's going to be the x value. And so now let's kind of interpret what we're wanting to know. We want to know the cosine inverse of 1 over 2. And so what that's really saying is, what angle do we have on the unit circle where we have an x value that corresponds to it that's equal to 1 over 2, or 1/2. Now there's one other catch. Because we're dealing with cosine inverse, we have two possible places where we would have an x value of 1 over 2. And so to restrict that just to 1, we restrict the cosine inverse to just the top two quadrants, quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. So that's something to keep in mind. That's where we want to search. And so looking in quadrant 1 and 2, we just want to find a spot where we have an x value equal to 1/2. And you can pretty quickly locate it. If you just look around right there at pi over 3, we have an x value or cosine value of 1 over 2. So therefore our answer for this problem is pi over 3. And that's all you have to do. So for sine and cosine inverse, it's pretty easy. You just want to pick your x or your y value wherever it happens. Be sure you're looking in the proper quadrants because cosine inverse is only defined for quadrant 1 and 2. So you're looking for your 1/2 in the quadrants 1 and 2. As soon as you find your 1/2 in the x value slot, you just go and you figure out what your angle is, and that's your answer.